it got to a point with me where I knew I was going to jail. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was dead close. You know what I'm saying? Like, when everybody around you go, and you know how things work, you know how I operate.
The dominoes fall.
Yeah, and it was like when you wake up every day and leave your house and go to the neighborhood and do what you're doing every day for your life. Like, addiction is not just the people who take the whatever it is they taking. Mm-hmm. It's the lifestyle as well of just you being in routine of doing the same thing every day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like getting.
It's a certain strings that come with that, and you gotta be able to actually be, when you call to action, you gotta show up. It don't matter. It's like when it's 6 a.m. and you gotta go and defend for your whole entire nation and whatnot. You can't be the person who's like, no, I'ma still sleep or whatever. And that's the one thing that went wrong. And so they know that everybody that's around Dolph is like, man, that's why Dolph was moving by himself, because he knew that it was only certain people like Grove Hero or Key Glock that actually was able to figure out what was really going on. And so one thing about it is that, man, we know that they still love Dolph and everything and want to get justice for Dolph, but everybody was just caught lacking that one day. And so they knew that it was just a timing thing. And when they had the upper hand on knowing where he was and the people that was following Dolph, it was actually a way for them to find a way to make the move. And so it's not the fact that Snoop Bands and Big Moochie Grape tried to make anything happen or knew about it, but it's the fact that when they called to him, they got to be able to respond. That's the boss man. And when the big dog speak up and bark, the puppies got to go with it.
A lot of people look at it like, some people would be cool, next thing you know, a person to be having 3-4 other people that they kicking it with.
Man, Dolph one of them those. Yeah, I with Dolph, man. He a family man that stand 10 toes down with their family. You know what I'm saying? That's the vibe I got from him.
People think that it's a game. Like, at the end of the day, we know for a fact it's a revolving door. People need to open their eyes to the fact of what's really going on, because in all actual reality, you can really put your hands on everybody who played a role in this, and you can look at it and be like, was it worth it?
You be calling out though. I mean, you know, like, and I be like, man, you be having a lot of better than what you do and what you say. Like, man, you know, as a kid, he be doing, you know, he be saying, he have real life is better. Like, man, he be knowing, like, he be doing it.
Yeah, and this the thing. That's because when you're into the street, people don't really pay attention to the fact that you have to really look at the key ideas and the key things that's going on. If they would have just moved out the hood when they got the bag, this would have never happened. Now, you can't really sit there and say that Young Dolph made a bad mistake just because he stayed in the hood. He wanted to help people. Sometimes helping people too much get you feel me, sent up, or it'll even get you set up. You gotta really understand what's going on, because people think that CMG, and then you can't forget about Chula Mafia. Chula Mafia is the people who straight drop. That's who he was around with at the end of the day. Chula Mafia straight drop. Cornelius Smith, Shondell Burnett, them the main ones who was in the white Mercedes when they pulled up on Dolph. Them the ones who was inside the hoodies with the gray jogging pants. And people sit back and look at it like, Shondell Burnett, he only was the one that got caught in the car with Straight Drop. He got caught in the car with Straight Drop because him and Straight Drop was trying to lead the state and trying to instantly, they got caught in Indiana. They got caught in Indiana, and Big Jook was the one that paid Govan, and Govan is Big Jook homie. And this is why the feds real life jumped on top of it, because the people who got locked up, it all trickles down to Yo Gotti at the end of the day. And people sit back and look at it and take it for granted. You can't take it for granted, because I know a lot of people rock with Dolph, and he had family. Young Dolph left 40 million. I want everybody to really know Young Dolph had houses all through Memphis. Like, people sit back and they look at it like, hold on, Key Glock should have been right there. Key Glock wasn't right there because he knew that the video shoot was gonna be at Makita's cookie shop at a certain time. He knew for a fact that they were supposed to arrive a little bit after Young Dolph take care of his business. Young Dolph went over there with the same stuff on. Like, he saw these people following him. He was at the gas station before it even happened, and I want everybody to really pay attention to what's going on, because in all actual reality, we can all really look at this and take heed to it, because it's sad that this had to happen, but we know for a fact you gotta watch who you keep around you. Watch the company you keep, because the company you keep, you don't know who they cool with that don't like you.
Hey, look here, man. I'ma chime in next.
And everybody know for a common fact that Glock, the relationship between him and Big Moochie Grape is like no other. Glock protect Big Moochie Grape throughout everything that he done got into. I want y'all to know the previous beef between Big Moochie Grape and Straight Drop led Young Dolph to getting sent up. This is where all the animosity came from, and where Straight Drop didn't care about proceeding with it. Like, we're going out there sending Young Dolph up. I want to let everybody know. And Cornelius Smith, the relationship that he's claiming to have with Straight Drop, it's not like everybody think. Straight Drop told Cornelius Smith he need to keep his mouth closed before anything happened. Like, y'all gotta understand, Cornelius Smith looked at it like, hold on, we just sent this man up, and you wanna realize, tell me to keep my mouth closed? I can tell whoever I want. And this is what started the feud between Straight Drop and Cornelius Smith, because this is something that we all really can pay attention to, because they didn't have to call each other. They was in the car with each other, and they hopped out while the car still was moving. And a lot of people still look at this like, why would they hop out with the car moving? They hopped out for one reason, because they wanted Young Dolph to know you can't be in no cookie shop, and we know your car. The car is tank proof, not the store. At the end of the day, once you step outside the car, then, like, at the end of the day, man, y'all really gotta pay attention to what's going on, because Glock already stated the fact that Mia J didn't want nobody who used to be in PRE around her because they hot. She know what happened in Memphis after Dolph got sent up. R.I.P. Dolph.
And basically Moneybagg, and they rented all the cars in Memphis. That way, when Snoop Bands and them was trying to do the turkey drive, they only had U-Hauls available. That way they couldn't, when they was trying to rush to Young Dolph, man, the U-Haul was so slow. And one thing about it is that that's what they knew, that they already knew Young Dolph brother was at Elvis Presley Boulevard, so it was gonna take him 45 minutes to get down there, man. If you really down there in Memphis, you know how far away that is from Makita's, and the fact that you can't get there in time when everything was going off. At that point, Marcus Thornton passed the white Benz just when they seen him turn the corner. They seen the fact that they had the flats from when somebody else sprayed at him. They thought it was Dolph's brother, but it was somebody else. That's why they quickly got him into the cruiser and made it to where they couldn't get the story in time. They just went ahead and went with the owner's story, because they the ones who clicked the button. And so whoever it is that ran out the back ended up getting away, and they hopped in to the side, man. And one thing about it is that Blac Youngsta got questioned for everything, and he never gave any answers, because he knows that everything is gonna fall on what Govan said, man. And when they retrieved the sources to identify, and they did the lineup of everybody that was involved, they pointed right at Straight Drop and Govan. That's why they got booked right away. But Govan was the one who was able to work out the deal, because he actually had he had the piece of paper in the folder that told him exactly where everything was, so that they could go and make the move. Because when they met in that back office of Privé Restaurant that night before, it was 18 hours until everything went down, and they had the ticker running, the time was running, and basically they had to go to one of the alleys to pick up what they was gonna use and everything like that. The mask was right there ready, the whole thing with the gloves, and the fact that they had everything covering their ankles, and they had the scarf that they was using so that you couldn't see who even was. Man, you gotta understand that the jewelry that was taken from there was what got all of them paid from that. And the fact that whoever got that Cartier bracelet and that whole watch cashed out on it, and when they melted it down before any of the investigators could come in and actually claim anything like that because they needed it for Exhibit A and B to take that to the whole thing to put in the Dolph files.
If you take away their social media posts, their Instagram, their records, what they say, what they saying in, and you do your real research, do their name ever come up in any of the affiliation that you're talking about? You get what I'm saying? You're never gonna hear that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm pretty sure and I'm beyond that, you know what I mean? But any stories you heard about Yo Gotti, they ain't just cause of his Instagram popping. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's for real. But anyway,
It say rest in peace, King Craig. And my cousin, they was showing me the game when I was coming up, but you know they took him out of here. So it's like after that, it wasn't no more hope left. Like I gotta tell on my face because I believed it. Like this what I'm around by, this what I'm down by. So when you love somebody so much, you'll do anything for them. You'll get anything to it. Ain't no limit. 200 and tomorrow you got 400. You're heavy. So don't never get it twisted. Don't feel like when I be heavy this, heavy that. Don't. I ain't saying I'm heavier than you. I got more money. I'm just saying I ain't had this yesterday and I got this today. So this the main they heavy like. At the beginning of the year, to bring, we just bringing so much attention, like just trying to draw everything up. When we put the video out, we trying to go take this jump sky rocket. It's a lot of people not paying attention to the fact that Blac Youngsta, when they was taking him out, when the feds questioned Blac Youngsta, that's why he been gone for so long. They already said that all the 17 members of CMG, everybody with their chains, y'all going down because y'all know for a fact how Rico indictment is. Y'all know they coming to get y'all. They gonna snatch them up because it's R.I.P. Dolph or nothing, man. Because at the end of the day, we know for a fact that Blac Youngsta, he already said, he sent them boys in there. And that's why they pulled up in that black Toyota Camry with the tinted windows with that dent in the bumper. I want y'all to understand, dude that hopped out with that starter jacket, he was the main one who told Buddy, hey man, you gonna hop out, I'ma drive. Y'all gotta really understand what's really going on because Yo Gotti, he already instantly, he busted the feds out when they tried to snatch him up. That's why he was able to be out to celebrate his birthday. And Glorilla already said like, hey man, Big Glo, I'm glad you out. You able to take care of your business now. And y'all already know, y'all know how she rock. Hey, at the end of the day, man, it's PRE and nothing.
And the reason why Lil Migo became the 18th member that they announced was because he had the drop on the location for Key Glock. When he dropped the low on Key Glock, they had somebody stall him just for enough time to where he couldn't get to the cookie shop fast enough because Dolph never got to make the third phone call to Key Glock. He called Big Moochie Grape first. He said 67 times, which then he called Snoop Bands 2 to 3 times. But when we seen the actual footage of the barbershop when he was doing the promotion with Snoop Bands, he had his phone there the whole time. And so that means that they just didn't, they had been warned by Trula Mafia of exactly what they should be, where they should be going because that specific area where Makita's is already in Yo Gotti's hood. And so they know that they don't want to go there when Young Dolph is in town because that's going to cause a situation to where they might get sprayed at. And they don't have the whole tank-proof car just like how Dolph has. And so they stayed away from that area. When they got that phone call, really the first thing that came into mind was that they was actually scared rather than actually jumping up and going to get their big homie and back him up, man. If anybody else in the streets, you gotta ask if people who's really more dedicated and actually down for it, you would have known that they would have got right up and went right down there to actually ride for Dolph and do whatever they had to do because he's the one that's taking care of him, man. You know how many light bills Dolph was paying? He had 85 people who he was supporting on his whole entire payroll. And the fact that, a lot of people took it for granted, man. How could you let the king of Memphis ride around by himself? And when he calls to you, you never answer the phone or you scared to go out and pop out into action. That's a lot. That when people that's really in the streets hear that and look at that, they're gonna be like, man, they was wrong for that because if they was getting paid $67,000 a month for being Young Dolph's friend and partner or somebody that's on his mixtape or collab or whatever, You gotta understand that.
Welcome to the channel. I want you to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as soon as you come in the building. Let me know where y'all from. If you from Memphis, throw that down in the comment section. Let me know if y'all rocking with CMG or PRE.